Okay, let's talk about hatching now. I'm using a smaller, flat, squared brush here, but you can really use any brush for hatching. Round, flat, short, small, whatever. Because hatching is essentially just parallel lines that are repeated, so different brushes will give different effects. We already went over cross hatching, and I will say that hatching is, of course, very similar. They are cousins, if you will. So hatching is a series of repeated parallel lines going in the same direction. You aren't crisscrossing like you are with cross hatching, it's just lines in one direction. So it's just one set of lines versus two sets of lines. I actually love the way that hatching looks. It's so versatile and it really reminds me of like comic books for some reason. It just has a fun, animated, sketchy style. Hatching can be a beautiful pattern to utilize when shading, filling in areas, or simply giving some texture to a flat area. It's really fun to play around and try various brush sizes and shapes and, just see what kind of lines you come up with. Your lines can be broken, jagged, uneven, rough. They really don't need to look perfect. Your lines can also be diagonal, vertical, horizontal, wide, thin, short, or long. They can also be wavy or curved. You really just want them to be repeated, going in the same direction, and parallel. Feel free to also change up the direction and move freely around your subject. Feel free to hatch in one area of your painting. You really don't need the whole painting to be hatched. It's just a tool in your toolkit that you can pull out for, specific subject or, areas in your painting. And as we mentioned in the other lessons, when you're using this technique in a painting, you can keep the lines closer together for darker values and have the lines farther apart for lighter values. You aren't blending the lines together, you're just layering them on top of each other and next to each other. Doing this exercise actually reminded me of like Charlie Brown or like a newspaper comic strip. There's just something so nostalgic about hatching. It's used in a lot of cartoons and I'm just really drawn to it for that nostalgic feeling. And of course, I'm just going to, quickly demonstrate how you might use this in a painting with this flower and tree here. Very similar to cross hatching, but you're only going in the one direction. And here's just a quick example of a painting I did for another video demonstration, and I used hatching in the grassy mountain areas. So it's actually great for landscapes, grass, mountains, really a lot of nature paintings use hatching. All right, well that was hatching, one of my favorite brushstrokes ever. I hope you enjoyed.